What's up, everybody? It is the Oracle of Elohim. Um, Excuse my decorations. I got my mirror covered up. You know. Anyway, I had another epiphany about a certain area I was in. I think it was in the Panhandle area. Yeah, it was. Um, at any rate, I was talking to a young lady at a convenience store, and she was asking, what was going on with me. And she came off nice at first, but it was kind of like gaslighting, but in a subtle way. You had to discern it. So she was like, well, my mother will let you stay with her until you get on your feet. Mind you, I don't know her from Adams. I don't know her mother. She don't know me. But it was just like, you're being too nice. And we're organized criminal gang stalking. There's someone always in the camp wherever I am. So how we started talking, I think I was asking her for if she could help me out with some gas. That's probably what it was. And she started asking a lot of questions instead of saying, yes, I can, no, I can't. And then she said, well, you don't have to sleep in your car. My mother is a pastor and she can help you out. She lives by herself. And I'm saying to myself, how do we jump to that subject where you're just going to invite me to your mother's house as if y'all take in strangers? And now that I'm going through this debauchery with these different folk, some who are affiliated with a church, I'm going to say this. All churches are not bad, and all people in the church are not bad. And we all at some point have gone to a church, whether it was a going home ceremony, a wedding, a baptism, godfather exchange ceremony, what have you. So we all have gone to church. But when I tell you, every time she kept saying, my mother is a pastor. She can take you in. She stays at her house by herself. Now, why would this daughter invite, and not speaking to her mother first? It almost brings an eerie feeling onto me because I know that there's human trafficking. I know that there's child human trafficking going on, and it's got to do with some church folk. Right. So, and I'm only talking to the ones that are guilty. So if you ain't guilty, you have nothing to be angered about. But if you're getting angry or upset about what I'm saying, either you need to check your congregation or you are guilty. It's either one of the two. because we know that there are things going on within the compound of churches. And how I know is the mother figure who is married to a stepfather figure of mine. Both of them are nefarious. They are possibly human trafficking, sexual exploitation of me and probably others. But yet, he is a reverend belonging to a church. Now, whether there are all in the church guilty or some in the church guilty, but somebody knows what that man and that woman is doing. And so it was brought back to my remembrance as she was like making a plea almost, saying, I'll be getting off in a minute. You can follow me to my mother's house. It almost brings an eerie feeling onto me as my spirit is saying, if I would have gone with her, I probably wouldn't be here today because something just did not sit well with me. Although while we were talking, she said, well, I got to go back into work. I said, okay. She said, so if you're out here, I'll help you out with some gas and we can go to, So it was like an ultimatum. You know I want gas, but why is it that you're going to wait for you to get off to give it to me? That really threw a monkey in the wrench, and I say, okay, I'm getting ready to go. I'll go down to the next station, and the Lord will provide. So I had to trust my intuition, and I wish somebody else would do that too. If they find themselves in a pickle and somebody is being overly nice. Mind you, it is nice people in the world, but at that particular time, with my story, and possibly yours too, that's how people have gone missing, because the trust thing of somebody who appeared, who can also be like a Ted Bundy, a Jeffrey Dahmer. Both of these suspects, they look very distinguished, as if they would not harm you. Just like that young lady, she didn't look like she would harm me. But what was really going on within her inner person, or even her mother? I mean, sleeping in my car, sometimes when I go to a new place, I have to get a feel of it, right? And my spirit has to regulate to let me know, okay, it's safe. You're okay. But my last video, somebody's mad. And I see some activity around in my vicinity with different things. So again, history. The 3 little girls in a church who were assaulted and blown up. Due to grown folk bad behavior and bullying. No matter what the group was, it's bad behavior. You want to do things your way, and when somebody stand up for themselves, you want want to retaliate. I am not afraid of death because it is told to us that one day we will meet it. My job here, my assignment here for Elohim is kind of like Jonah of Nineveh. He was a messenger. He was sent to tell the people what he was sent to go to Nineveh for. And he knew it was burdensome or it was risky if we look at it in the natural, right? Because I'm in this flesh body, but my spirit man and my body belongs to Elohim. I am an extension of him, of the all that is. I am an extension of him. So Jonah was like, I don't want to go talk to these people. So he hid and got on the ship and got tossed off and, so to speak, fell in the belly of a shark. I must be obedient to the Spirit. So, again I say, whosoever do not like what I'm saying, is it because you're guilty of it? Or someone close to you is guilty of it? And the third last thing, is it messing with your money because you have affiliated yourself with nefarious people? And if they get found out, a lot of your money or resources will plunder. So if you are a pastor but you're not doing what they're doing, but you know about it, what is that the same difference? Is that kind of like if you lust for a man or a woman, which you already committed adultery if you are married? Is that the same thing? Kind of sound like it, except we're talking about adultery and we're talking about crimes that's being committed that somebody know about, but they don't necessarily do the action of it, but you know about it. And if you're a man or woman of the cloth, then are you not supposed to stop it, rebuke it, eschew it away from you? But if you're allowed to still be at your church, then that means you are a participator of it because you're collecting their dirty money from the proceeds of their dirty deeds, right? Same thing. Crime Watch, if you see something, say something, right? So if the Most High Word say, no weapon that may form shall not prosper, and every tongue that rises up against you, you shall judge. The body of Christ shall judge a person, place, or thing. So actually, the church is supposed to be the government to govern the body of Christ. So when there's so much corruption in the government, yeah, think on that for a minute. Oh, it's written in the Bible, the church is supposed to judge. But when you have covens like this, who are doing dark magic with word salad of the Word of God to cast spells on the congregation or the targeted person that they are on mission to bring down, to steal, kill, or destroy. Where are the light workers of the church who know a thing? Are you tired of seeing your congregational members, some of them passing away? It might not be of natural causes. I mean, you can ask Sandra and Walter about that today, because they do debauchery for life insurance. I mean, there were also, I believe it was on 60 Minutes or somewhere, where some of these cult groups, like the Jim Jones thing, where you have to give everything that you have to them to live on their compound. That don't make no sense to me. If I live in a house and I'm grown, but I appreciate the sound logic of truth and not a hostile or subtle or word salad takeover to participate in your compound. I believe Pastor something about straightway, something going on there too. But anyway, I never been there, but I just seen it on social media, so it's out there already. So I ain't saying nothing that's not new. But anyway, that's what's the problem with, I know people say, okay, let's have a community. A community does not mean that it takes your liberties away. Yes, you have a unified rule and regime in your community, and that should be to be noted as, okay, if a family is having an issue with, they need help with something, go help. If a husband and wife are having an issue and you're worthy in your heart, you and your wife can see if you can help. If you see a neighbor's child doing something unruly, unseemly, or even the adult, you go to your brethren and you speak to them, pray with them, and hopefully it changes. You forgive them. You know, we forgive people, right? Because I have to forgive my enemies daily, but daily they are always doing something. All day, every day. So it really gets tiring. So when you hear me on my channel, and some would say, oh, she's very cutthroat. Why, yes. Because, I mean, you know, King David was very cutthroat. Before Samson got with Delilah, obviously he was very cutthroat, because they wanted to know how he got his strength to knock them out when they came at him wrong. And so, you know, when you forgive a person, you still can ask the Most High, if they do it again, please avenge me of these people, especially if they're a detriment to society, to a community. When you're doing dark magic and casting spells and trying to go into people's Akashic records and learn about how bright their future is and try to do a destiny swap. And then you do everything in your power in the flesh to bring them to a homeless state as you all have done to me. But yet, I'm still here because the Most High say I'm going to be here. I'm here for you. You are here for me. The Most High loves me. He loves you. However, the Most High likes obedience. You are of Satan lineage. You are like the enmity of Yahuwah Elohim. E-N-T, enmity. E-N-M-I-T-Y, enmity of Elohim. So, even though he loves us, just as he chastised Babylon, Sodom, and Gomorrah, I just prefer to stay on the right side of the Most High. And just as Peter, yes, the Most High is working some things out of me that I notice that I don't like, and so I speak to him about it. However, I'm nothing like you who sit up there, plot, scheme, and plan to take, to steal, kill, and destroy someone because you want what they have, instead of asking the Most High to enlarge your territory. All I know is, people, when you ask the Most High for your forgiveness, Most High, will you please forgive me of my sins? Because I know I have committed a sin today. Yes. Please forgive me of my sins, as I forgive those who sin against me. However, I know somebody is trying to mess with my energy, and they're sending people around me for nefarious reasons, some of them. And so therefore, even as I forgive them, they still pursue me. So please avenge me of all of them, and whatever trap, snare, plot, scheme, let it fail. Let it turn back to every sender, and let it afflict and affect them and their household. Return to sender. That's all. And that's not being, that is being straightforward. And that's what they deserve. To have every intent of their heart that they are wrongfully trying to send my way, because I didn't start this war. From maybe even from conception, but definitely after I was born, you all made some type of pact that I was going to be your supply to get you where you wanted to be. And then after you achieve that, it's time for me to go, so you won't get caught up in the schemes that you did in my name to make me get caught up in a system that I don't belong in because I haven't committed any crimes. So in saying that, Abaya, please let the real criminal, the real Slim Shady, the real imposter, liar, fraudster, let the Holy Spirit round them up by your people who work in the judicial system, who want to do the thing upright. I have to say, and that movie just popped in my spirit again. The one with Denzel Washington where he played Bumpy Johnson, I think. And the detective. I want to focus in on the detective. Now, one of the detectives got caught up by his own devices, by being foolish, using drugs, and sexual perversion. But the other one was relentless. He said, no, I'm going to take this regime that is destroying, corrupting normal day society, in a society of people, destroying families, where children are, what do you call it, lychee? Became lychee children because of the selling and pushing out drugs. Drug deal, I know it seemed lucrative, which it is lucrative. I know you make a lot of money, and I know you ain't the only one. It's the government that you didn't produce it. It's somebody within, and that's another fight of another. But it messes up whole families. So I just pray for the Most High to get this economy where families can be families. They can have peace in their home. They can have peace when they go to work and come home to their wife and children, or she come home to her husband and children. That there won't be so much stress where they are so stressed that they say, oh, I want to try this drug to see if I can get relieved, and I know I can conquer it. It won't take over me. But how many of us know? No. Why would you think that you are an exception if you've seen other people go down by using that same drug? And it's just hard to get society on a good playing level when it's so much corruption, stealing, killing, sexual perversion that's causing STDs, almost kind of like the Tuskegee experiment, where all these people just laying down as if there's no STDs out here. Lay it down, lay it down. Oh. Right. What are we doing, people? What are we doing? I've been there, done that, and I thank God I'm no longer that way. Right? And I thank Him so much that I never caught anything other than at that time I think the doctor called it BD, and actually that wasn't too long ago. That was in '89 when I was pregnant with my middle child from his father. Imagine that, right? Wow, a dirty dog. What's that song? I'm a mutt, I'm a dog. There you go. Anyway, let's move on. And then, it's really a shame because I think about if my discernment wasn't right when that young lady kept talking so nice and sweet, but very persistent in trying to persuade to go to her mother's house. But how many of us know that maybe that wouldn't have been her mother, but she would look like a mother figure, but maybe they had a whole thing going on? How many people would go to this gas station perhaps and be in a pickle, and she invites to who she say her mother house? Is that also kind of like the movie Taken? I'm just saying. And again, we don't want to be so paranoid. However, it's a lot of corruption going on all levels in this world, and the Most High has to intervene. See, I know why I am not liked or accepted, because I don't like or accept the things that are going on. And I know that the Most High is working things out. And I know that there is a relentless detective or police officer who loves his job, he loves his community, and he loves to see people succeed, or she or he or they love to see people succeed. And I just believe that they are working on this case, and they are observing, taking notes, and when they are ready to hook, line, and sink these dirty regimes, elitists, and then you small minions that are the ones that's causing the most ruckus. I know they say, well, we want to get the big fish. Well, that is true. The big fish is a major problem because they have all the resources. But at some point, you must also take down the little ones, because they are the ones with the feet on the ground, going into houses, businesses, corrupting the community first. The elitist is only staying behind the shadow, paying them to do so. So if AI is real and up to par, then we see all of that. So I just pray that the Most High will activate an open door and say it's time to take down, stop, block, dismantle, destroy, permanent, destroy this type of nonsense that's going on. That's what we want, Abiyah. Your words say the righteous will rejoice when the wicked are no more. Fret not over evildoers, for we will soon see them wither away. Your life is nothing but a vape, and he was speaking to all of us. But especially, let it be noteworthy to those who are poisonous, toxic, to a community of people who just want to live and do the right thing. Give God the glory and the praise for how he allowed us to see another day, to bless our families and even ourselves by doing the right thing. But instead, we have enemies such as yourself who lie on another person, pay the judges, lawyers, court system, doctors, teachers, community to lie on another, because it is power when there's more than one. But my one is the all power, who will send my guardian redeemer, my Ashir, Yashid. And I decree that he will send Meripah into the corruptors' meetings, coven, group, and may your plans, Maha, Shalah, Hashbaz, quickly plunder and return back upon you. And may the enemies of God become Septuagint. May you become Septuagint. The enemies of God, may you become Septuagint. Because it is not cool to cause disturbances for people who want to live quietly on the land and do good, like the two out of the three, when the Most High gave one 3 talents, one 2 talents, and the one who had the 1 talent, the Most High was sorely disappointed with. It's not cool to plot, scheme, and plan. Although it does appear that you have succeeded because you do get rewards by what you do. But when it's time for consequences for ruining and destroying the temple of the Most High Yah, because we are branches of the Most High Yah, then all that energy you had when you were going around town destroying people, doing dark magic word salad, had that same energy when the all that is come for you. Period. So anyway, that was on my mind for somebody. Maybe even me, maybe somebody's plotting and planning to come subtly towards me. I don't know. Or maybe this is going on somewhere in another part of another state, city, town, country. I don't know. But everyone needs to be careful and use your discernment by asking the Most High for wisdom and discernment. And in my case, since they're trying to strip me of resources, I have no choice. I do have a choice, but the better choice is to rely on the Most High about this situation. And I thank Him for my wonderful twos and my ancestors of light who love me, who fight for me, who speak to me. And I thank Yeshua for my assigned angels. And I know that it is Elohim that keeps me alive. I cannot walk in fear when you people plot, scheme, or plan, because at the end of the day, everybody will go back to the dusk. I just ask Abiyah that my enemies go before I do. If you're sending that type of energy towards me, and you have, so I just send it back to you. Because because I deserve to be here. The people that the Most High have allowed to be born through a woman, undoubtedly they deserve to be here. Even your kind, because it's about balance. God gives us choices to whom we will serve: darkness, Satan, or light, Elohim, love, healing, prosperity, abundance, truth, clarity, favor. That's what I want. Not deception, lies, scandal, and an epic failure. That's what Lucifer is. He will have you winning for a season, and then once the spell breaks off, it's time for you to lose everything you thought was a gain in the wrong way. And I decree and declare that's what's happening today when it comes to my situation. You shall not harm me. You shall not take my life. My life I do not give to you. Never did, even as an infant. My God, I wasn't able to speak up for myself, but yet and still adult bullies thought that they would do it for me and play God in my life when the Bible clearly said do not misguide the little ones. Read it for yourself. Anyway, thank you, Elohim, that I will live out my days and I will see this come to closure as I will inherit my land and my ancestral inheritance that belonged to me. It was never yours to divide and try to conquer over me. And you're going to release it. Period. I decree and declare that it is so.